We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com.
Moving on to Russell C. Russell has had a Yamaha Avintage. Is it a Vintage or Avantage?
I don't know. Avantage, that's what I've heard.
Avantage. RXA1020BL for 3 years. So he's had this Avantage for 3 years until the main board failed. He had bought it at Best Buy and gotten the extended warranty, though. So he ended up with a Best Buy gift card to use for a replacement receiver. Cool.
Nice.
Having been an AVRant listener for a, quote, long time, unquote, he decided to try out something from Denon Marantz. Makes sense if you've been listening to this podcast. And now owns a Denon AVR-X4300H. But then he listened to the, quote, train wreck episode where it was discussed regarding the not yet released Denon AVR-X4400H and Marantz SR6012. And he's having a little buyer's remorse. Now he knows there might be something better in the world. He is still within the return period, so he's not stuck yet. But do we think it's worth going receiverless until the new models release, or is his X4300 good enough? Ooh, receiverless. That hurts to even say. And aside from all that, is there a better choice available from Best Buy that he should return the X4300H for anyway? So I guess my first question is, what's the big upgrade between the 4300 and the 4400, that Denon receiver?
Exactly. So what are the feature differences? Now, there's one that I care about, which is the ability to pass a Dolby Vision signal through the AV receiver.
Okay, yeah.
Denon has made it explicit that the X4400H will do that. Not out of the box. They said it's going to require a firmware update in the spring? Something like that. Yeah. Or fall? I don't know. They made it explicit the X4400H is going to have a firmware update that gives it Dolby Vision pass-through.
Dolby Vision pass-through, sure.
It has not been explicitly said that the X4300H, the one he's already got, will get that same ability. Marantz, on their UK website, has said that the SR6011, which is the sister model to the Denon 4300H, will get Dolby Vision pass-through via a firmware update. But that's so far the only Marantz website, it's only the UK version that has specifically mentioned that year's model number. So the expectation is that your X4300H, the ones you already have in hand right now, the expectation is that it will get the ability to pass Dolby Vision through. That's what we expect. Is it possible Denon will make a liar out of me? It is possible.
Sure.
Until they explicitly say that it's happening, I can't be certain, but the strong expectation is that it will happen. So
one thing we don't know is whether Russell has a TV that can do Dolby Vision.
Right. If that might all be moot.
Like if he doesn't have one and he doesn't plan to get one anytime real soon, then it's moot.
But that's kind of the one feature difference that I care about, because we explicitly know the 4400H is for sure getting Dolby Vision pass-through. We expect the 4300 will, but we can't say with 100% certainty just yet. So that's number one. Number two, the 4400H will have Oro 3D capability out of the box.
Okay.
The 4300H that you already have, it can do Oro 3D, but you have to pay $200 to get it.
Why do we even want it?
Well, you probably don't.
There you go.
But the point is, if you really, really do, you can get it on the 4300H. You just have to pay extra for it. Right? So that's one other feature. The last feature difference, the 4400H gets DTS's newest little upmixing processing thingy that they are calling DTS Virtual X. Now, what is that?
I don't know. Tell me, Rob.
Like the virtual name implies, says, let's say you have 5.1 speakers, right? Physically, that's what you got. 5 speakers on a sub. But you want to listen to a DTS X soundtrack.
Okay.
That has the overhead sounds, right? Sure. And surround backs behind you. Well, DTS Virtual X will try to use some phase shifting, frequency response altering trickery to make you think that maybe you have speakers above you. You don't. They are virtual speakers.
Yeah.
But that's what DTS Virtual X is. It's, you know, the same thing a sound bar does where you only have a sound bar up front, but it tries to trick you into thinking you have surround speakers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Virtual surround speakers.
Right.
That's what Virtual X is, but for the overhead sounds. All right.
It's like getting a phantom center channel a little bit.
It's even less than that.
It's less than that because you're not there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're not in the middle.
how much do we care about that? Well, if you have physical speakers overhead, not at all, because you're just going to use DTS-X, right?
Yeah. I don't care.
So my honest answer is, assuming that Dolby Vision pass-through update does happen, we expect it will. There's a chance we'll be wrong. But if it does, then there's really nothing about the X4400H that I would say is important to get over the X4300H.
Especially if he doesn't have a TV
that can do Dolby Vision, then you definitely don't care.
Right.
So I say you're pretty darn safe with that 4300H. Is there something else that you should buy? Well, what if you want Dolby Vision pass-through right this second? You got to have it right now.
Yeah, right now.
Well, then you kind of have to buy an Onkyo or a Pioneer, one of their newest models, because they're the only ones who are doing it out of the box. But other than that, that's putting a heck of a lot of importance on Dolby Vision.
Right.
So
that's what it boils down to. Do you have a Dolby Vision capable television, Russell?
I think the X4300H is a really good choice.
Uh-huh.
That's the bottom line.
There you go. There's just not a lot of reason to worry about it. But that's a common emotion, if you will, of people that ask questions. And
it does
am
keep
I
changing.
missing something? Am I missing something better that I would notice? It's a gnawing fear when you've spent money on good stuff and you're like, but what if?
Well, I mean, I just had the thing where I bought a couple of years ago a Denon X5200W, and the very next year wound up replacing it with a Marantz SR7010 for the simple reason that the X5200W could do Atmos, but it never got a DTS-X update. All right. Now, the 7010 that I own now, it can do DTS-X, it can do Atmos, but you know what it can't do and will never do? Dolby Vision pass-through.
Oh.
It's not getting that update ever. So, you know, being afraid that you're missing out on one feature that might be the fly in the ointment, totally understandable.
Yeah.
Because I've been through the same stupid thing.
If you don't have unlimited money and you don't want to buy new stuff all the time.
These are expensive receivers. It's not cheap stuff.
It's always a fear. All right, Russell. Yeah. Hopefully that helps guide you in the differences.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.